With mortgage rates heading upwards and banks heading upwards, and go to you first to repeat your charges.
Well, part of the situation is that legacy mortgages or older mortgages, the vast majority of them would be what's called standard variable rate mortgages. So something between half and three-quarters of the mortgages out there, the existing mortgages, are standard variable mortgages.
Just to give us an example, the European Central Bank rate, the ECB rate, they provide money at a particular rate. How much is added typically by a bank in order to make their profit?
Yeah, well, European Central Bank rate, Pat, is 4% at the moment, and you can get a tracker rate then that adds an extra, say, 0.5% to 1%, maybe 1.2. So anywhere between 0.5% and 1.2% added to that. So that means your interest rate on your mortgage is between, say, 4.5% to 5.1. And the problem then with standard variables is it can be much, much more expensive. You're talking about interest rates that can be as high as 5.89 at the moment. So the problem is people taking their mortgages in the last few years have all gone for these trackers that are very good value. But we have a legacy of thousands and thousands of people out there on these standard variables which are really bad value, and they're paying too much, and the banks are telling them, I'm not telling people that they should really switch to a tracker.
Pat Farrell of the Irish Bankers Federation, what do you have to say?
Well, I suppose what's important is to make sure that we're dealing in facts, and there's quite a lot of misrepresentation and...
Okay, but just to let's clarify one thing. What he told us about tracker mortgages is correct, isn't it?
I mean, the reality is that trages are the thing I think is important for everybody to know out there who's listening is to track everybody, and the kind of rate voted will not everybody, because trackers...
That's loan to value, that tech. So if someone has a loan to value of, say, 50%, would they get the kind of tracker that...
Pat. That's for the trackers are aimed.
Okay, Charlie, what do you say to Pat Farrell's arguments?
I'm also surprised to hear Pat saying that if you switch your mortgage you have to pay a commission. You don't have to pay a commission. That's paid. The bank pays the broker the commission, so it's not going to cost the...
No, but increase the...
No, Pat, sorry, let's just...
Increasingly are saying, I think you reported yourself, that they are going to charge fees in the future.
Well, they're not at the moment.
Some of them do. They're not at the moment. The vast majority of them, we have a commission-based system, so the consumer is not being charged commission. So really, we have a situation where banks are not telling people. You know, the honesty lies somewhere in the middle, where banks. If you're on a standard variable, Pat, you really need to check that you are on one, and then go to your bank and say, look, Pat, this is not good value. Nobody can dispute it's not a good type of mortgage. I'd be better off with a tracker, wouldn't I? And you force the bank to put you onto a tracker on a much better rate, because you're going to save money. It's costing you money to pay a standard variable rate.
What do you say to that advice? Good advice?
Oh, absolutely, in the sense that, I wouldn't at all disagree with Charlie that people should actually get out there, shop around, they should look at what's available in the market, and if the product is suitable for them, by all means, take that product. And as I've said repeatedly, and I will always say this in the record...
Thank you both.
Tracker rates are suitable for some customers and not suitable for others, because there are terms and conditions.
Okay, but I would say in summary...
To actually shop around...
Do your homework.
To look at what...
We'll leave it there.
What's out there in the market, because it's hugely competitive. There are 13
Thank you both.
providers in the market.
Thank you both. We'll take a break.
The Irish Independent, lousy value, shop around for value.